Yo, what is up, YouTube? Today, we are going to be going over the Miami Dolphins schedule. So, this team had a pretty good season last year. I wouldn't say its schedule was that difficult. It was probably amongst one of the easier ones. And you could tell because they finished the season with 10 wins and 6 losses. Yet, they didn't make the playoffs because of a very competitive AFC. Even though they added a 7th playoff spot, they still didn't make it. The Dolphins finished pretty decently. Their defense had a big step up last year, and after the first half of the season, their defense started winning them games single-handedly, getting turnovers, pick sixes, all that kind of stuff. And at that point, they put Tua in at QB and bench Fitzpatrick, even though Fitzpatrick kept winning them games. And they were winning games with Tua only because of their defense. And Fitzpatrick, honestly, was the carry for their offense. You saw that Week 16 against the Raiders with that insane play where he was grabbed in the face mask still, completed the pass, and they beat the Raiders that week. But, honestly, I think their offense was struggling with Tua, which is why, if you look at their schedule, I think the Dolphins are in for trouble this year. So, like I said, their defense was pretty good last year. Xavier Howard was the best player on that defense. I believe he had a lot of interceptions, maybe around 10. It was insane. But the real question is, how's this offense going to perform in Tua's second year? But let's just look at their schedule and go over it. So even though this team was 10-6 last year, don't criticize me for this, but the start of their schedule looks really difficult. I wouldn't be surprised if they lost a lot of games. So week 1, they go on the road and they play at the New England Patriots. This team, I think the Patriots had one of the best off seasons, of course, in free agency. They got a lot of offensive weapons, including Jonnu Smith, Nelson Agholor, probably more. Their offense was decently bad last year. It was the catalyst of their success. But the Patriots, I believe, going to be a better team. Cam Newton's probably going to be playing week 1. The Dolphins rarely win in New England, but I don't think Tua has the skill, and I don't think the Dolphins offense has the skill to win this game, which is why I think Dolphins will lose and start 0-1. So the following week, they host the Buffalo Bills at home. The Buffalo Bills are one of the best teams in the NFL, and they lost the Bills twice last year. The Dolphins almost beat the Bills at home in the beginning of the year, but that was almost lucky, I would say. At this point, the Bills are just so out of the Dolphins league that, I think the Dolphins lose once again at home, and the Bills get the win. There's nothing really else to say about that. So week 3, we have, like I said, a repeat of that Week 16 game they played last year at the Raiders. They're playing them once again in Las Vegas. I think this is going to be a completely different game. As you may know, that game last year was very close. Like I said, Fitzpatrick won them the game. That incredible play. But honestly, the Dolphins' offense was struggling before Fitzpatrick was put in. And I think it's going to happen again. I haven't mentioned this yet, but the Miami Dolphins drafted Jalen Waddle in the draft, former teammate of their current QB, Tua. So that is a really good pickup, maybe a offense-saving pickup. I think this may be Jalen Waddle's best game of his rookie season at this point in time, and maybe it's not. But I honestly think the Dolphins choked this game. Poor offensive, efficiency, and the Raiders win, and the Dolphins start 0-3. So week 4, the Dolphins host the Indianapolis Colts at home. This is going to be, once again, a difficult game. Their opening schedule just really, really hard. I think the Colts are going to be one of the best teams in the league next year. They were pretty good last year, and they made the playoffs. They actually stole the playoff spot from the Dolphins, if you didn't know that. And I think the Colts are actually going to get better next year. their offense, their running game is going to get better. I mean, I wouldn't say it's going to get better, but it probably will. And, of course, Carson Wentz, I believe this dude is going to have a comeback player of the year type season. So I think the Colts, they're one of the better teams in the league, and they somehow get the win in Miami. So, Game 5, they go south, or should I say north, to Tampa Bay and play the Buccaneers. So, off the bat, the Dolphins are starting 0-5. I don't think the Dolphins are bad, but really difficult schedule. I said this in the beginning of the video. I don't think they're bad. Don't criticize me, don't hate. But their schedule is just pretty difficult. Patriots, Bills, Raiders, Colts, Buccaneers to start the season. 0-5, no doubt about it. I think they could win against the Raiders, but that's it. So at this point, the Dolphins are going to turn everything around. 0-5 is uncharacteristic of a team that won 10 games last year. But week 6, they're going to get their first win at the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is going to be a college football championship rematch. Tua versus Trevor Lawrence. Actually, I don't even think these players played each other. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I don't remember. But these players have definitely played each other in the college football playoffs before, maybe in the regular season. They're going to be playing each other in the NFL. Another Florida team. And I think the Jaguars, one of the worst teams in the league, going to be struggling at this point. And the Dolphins get their first win of the year and start 1-5. So the following week, they host the Atlanta Falcons, a team that I believe is the worst team, one of the worst teams in the league. They lost their best player, Julio Jones, and they had a really bad year last year. And, of course, it's going to happen again. I think the Dolphins get the win at home against the Atlanta Falcons. So the following week, they once again play the Buffalo Bills, one of the best teams in the league, and this is in Buffalo. And there's a 0% chance they win this game. That is a loss for them. So after starting 0-5, they win their next 2 to lose to the Bills. So that is 2-6. The following week, they host the worst team, in my opinion, in the league, the Houston Texans. Why do I say this? Well, I believe at this point in time, Deshaun Watson's gone. He's a goner. For multiple reasons. I could give multiple reasons. But I don't think Watson is playing in this game. And if you look at the Texans' depth chart, it is the worst I've ever seen in my life. Dolphins' easiest win of their season. So the following week, they host the Baltimore Ravens. As you may know, the Miami Dolphins have a little bit of a bad history against this team. Losing by, I believe, 50 points maybe last or 2 years ago. And, they don't really play the Ravens well. They're not going to win this game. The Ravens are out of the Dolphins league. I think it's going to be a pretty close one. Wouldn't be surprised if this was a 7 to 14 point game. Maybe a field goal difference. But at the same time, the Ravens are out of their league. Give the Ravens the win. So the following week, they go on the road against the New York Jets. So the Jets, one of the worst in the league. Zach Wilson's their QB, second pick in the draft. First Tua. It's going to be one of those games that many people might not want to watch because it's boring. Dolphins, I believe they get the simple, easy win right here. And there's really nothing else to say about that. So the following week, they host the freaking Carolina Panthers at home. Carolina. So this team, I think it's one of those teams that could surprise everyone next year with how good they are. Carolina has a lot of talented players, including McCaffrey, DJ Moore on offense. But the question is, Sam Darnold, is he going to play well against a division foe, the Dolphins, a team that he's played numerous times? I think the Panthers play a really good game, and, I think they have a really good chance of winning this. But I think this is a game the Dolphins, they pull out of this one, maybe win by a field goal or 7 points, and the Dolphins get a win at home. And the following week, they host the New York Giants. This is one of those games that was added to the 17th game of the year schedule, as you may know. It's going to be a pretty good game. I think the Giants have an opportunity to once again be like the Panthers and surprise everyone. The Giants' defense last year, surprised me. It wasn't the best, but it got a lot better. It won them a couple games, and their offense is just getting better and better by the year. The Giants might be one of those teams that, win 10 games somehow. And I think this is going to be a very difficult game for the Dolphins to win. I think the Giants, 49% chance the Giants win, 51% chance the Dolphins win. I think the Dolphins do get the win at home, but I wouldn't be surprised if they lost. So the following week, they have a bye week, much needed. It is very late in the year, week 14, one of the latest in the NFL. And the week after that, they host the New York Jets. So that is 3 home games in a row with a bye week in between. So they have 4 weeks at home to get their stuff right and make a playoff push. Like I said, they're starting the season with 7 losses, but maybe the playoffs are open to a team with a 10-7 record. It's a great opportunity for the Dolphins to push for a playoff spot. They host the Jets, like I said. That is a win for them. The following week, they go on the road and they play the New Orleans Saints. This is a very important game. I think this game is the deciding factor for the Dolphins making the playoffs or not. And if they lose this game, they're basically out. I think the Saints at this point are going to be a really, improved team. I don't think they're going to start the season particularly well because Drew Brees is retired and their quarterback situation is unknown. The Saints, they do choke games in the playoffs, of course, but the Saints are a pretty solid team. This is in New Orleans. I think the Saints get the win, unfortunately, for you Dolphins fans. The following week, they have another hard team on the road again, the Tennessee Titans. This is a difficult team. I think the Titans are going to be one of the most dominant offenses in the league next year, probably top 3. I think the Titans are just going to be too overwhelming for this Dolphins team. The Titans are going to get the win. And their last game of the year, they play the New England Patriots, a team that nobody likes. And Dolphins, I'm rooting for you. Trust me. But I actually do believe you got a very good chance of winning this game. The Patriots, maybe Mac Jones is playing at this point, and he's not doing too well. Dolphins, I actually think they're going to get the win in this game. Maybe win by 14 points. So the Dolphins, they're going to finish this year with 8 wins and 9 losses. I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins finish with around 10 or even less than that, around 6 wins. But like I said, their schedule last year was pretty easy, and their schedule this year is a lot harder, which is why I think they're going to lose a little more games. Comment down below your predictions below. Thanks for watching. Adios.